Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you love Naruto fanfics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Let's begin with part 2. Uzumaki Naruto let out an uneasy sigh. This was it. Today was the day that he would tell his friend about the Kyuubi. He was more than just a little nervous. He was worried about how Ino would react to his news. Was it possible that she might end up hating him? Would she want to end their friendship over this? Naruto stood on the bridge where the former Team 7 used to wait for their sensei. He had asked the platinum blonde to meet him here. She was actually running a little late. He hoped that everything was okay with her. Naruto was soon pacing back and forth, in a very nervous manner. It wasn't too late to back out. No one said that he had to tell her about Kyuubi today. But then he remembered Inoichi's words. Ino had a right to know, especially since they had been spending a lot of time together. Hey Naruto. He heard her voice. He stopped pacing, and turned around. Ino stopped right in front of him. Hey, I'm sorry that I'm late. What's up? Why did you want to meet me? The blonde male nervously shoved his hands into his pockets. He gathered up his courage. This was now or never. Do or die. There was no holding back any longer. Ino-chan. I have something I want to tell you. Okay. She nodded. Go for it. I should have probably told you this before. I'm sorry that I didn't. Ino simply blinked in confusion. She saw that he was having a hard time. She only wanted him to say whatever it was that was on his mind. Naruto, it's okay. Just tell me. Right. Well, do you remember the attack on Konoha, 17 years ago? The one made by Kyuubi. Did you ever hear anything about it? Ino nodded. She had remembered her parents discussing it when she was younger. She wondered why he was suddenly bringing it up now. What did that have to do with him? Yeah, the fox demon that the Yondaime killed, right? No, the fourth didn't kill Kyuubi. Naruto stopped. Ino put her hand to his shoulder. She didn't know of any other way to help him tell her what was going on. Naruto, how do you know about all of this? It's not really something that we were told about, you know. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you. I know that the fourth didn't kill Kyuubi, because it was sealed inside a newborn. He paused again. Naruto looked down and stared into Ino's eyes. She was clearly waiting for him to speak again. That newborn was me. I have Kyuubi inside of me. I'm a Jinchuriki. Ino froze. Naruto stared into those aqua-colored orbs. She had a look of fear in her eyes. He had never seen her look like this before. She slowly stepped away from him. You're a freak. Her words were painful to him. It was the way she uttered the word, freak. He hated the way she called him that so easily. Ino-chan. No, you're a freak. She repeated. I can't believe that you have that thing inside of you. And to think that I let you touch me. I let you hold my hand. How could I ever let a monster like you anywhere near me? Each word she spoke felt like a stab to the chest. Her voice was filled with venom. He had never actually heard her speak like this. Not even to Sakura, whenever they had their little rivalry going on. But Ino, I'm not a monster. I'm still the same Naruto. You know, the one you always call idiot. He tried to smile. Your friend. Ino wasn't having any of it. She didn't want to hear any of his explanations. To her, he was not the same Naruto she once knew. He was a monster, a freak, someone she didn't want to be around. Don't try to get me to feel sorry for you, you creep. I'm out of here. Don't ever talk to me again. Goodbye. He watched her walk away. Naruto tried to run after her. He had to stop her from leaving. He needed her to understand that he wasn't a monster, or a freak. He was someone that she could count on. He was her friend. When he caught up to her, he grabbed her arm. Ino-chan, please wait. Get the hell off of me, you goddamn monster. She turned around and slapped him across the face. Naruto put his hand to his cheek. It had turned bright red. Ino had no sort of remorse in her eyes. Naruto only saw hate and disgust. Never come near me again. With that, she was gone from sight. Naruto never imagined that she would take the news so badly. Ino, he whispered sadly. Naruto woke up from his nightmare. He stared down at the seal on his stomach. That nightmare was still haunting him. He couldn't even begin to think of anything else. Ino-chan wouldn't react like that, would she? He wondered. He didn't want to even imagine that happening for real. It was then that he decided not to tell her. He would hold off on telling her for a while. The young man had truly lost his nerve. At this moment, he simply didn't have the heart to tell her. For the rest of the night, he found that sleep did not come for him. He found that no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get back to sleep. The dream would not leave his thoughts. He wasn't sure how the platinum blonde was going to react. Sure, she was loud, pushy, and sometimes overbearing. Yet the blue-eyed girl had a caring side. And he found that she could be very understanding. Knowing this did nothing to ease his nervousness. I guess telling Ino-chan about Kyuubi will have to wait a little while longer. Over the past few days, a certain pink-haired female had the opportunity to do some serious thinking. Watching Ino and Naruto together was something that she was still trying to get used to. She found that she was spending less time with her blonde-haired friend. If he wasn't on missions, he was spending all of his free time with Ino. She missed him, but of course she wasn't jealous. At least, that was what she was trying to tell herself. I'm not jealous, I'm not jealous. Sakura was sitting at a nearby bench thinking, when Tenten saw her. Tenten walked over to her pink-haired friend. She noticed that the young woman was clearly spacing out. The brunette waved her hand in front of her. There was no response. She then started to shake Sakura. There was still no response. Sakura. The younger girl didn't acknowledge the brunette. Tenten was becoming visibly upset. Just what the hell was she thinking about, that had her so spaced out? It was as if Sakura was in another world. Konoha to Haruno. Sakura, where the hell are you right now? Sakura didn't even blink. She was too deep in her thoughts to be bothered by Tenten. The older Kunoichi knew that she had to do something. She needed to bring the green-eyed girl out of her current state. Oh my god, is that Naruto cheating on Ino with Tamari from Suna? Huh. Sakura instantly snapped out of it. Oh, hey Tenten, what's up? You tell me. The brown-eyed girl sat down next to her. You seem a little out of it. I'm fine. She lied. I was just doing a little thinking. Yeah, I can see that. Unknowing to the two girls, Ino was sitting behind some bushes listening in. She was actually going to ask Sakura what the problem was, but Tenten had gotten to her first. So here the platinum blonde sat, eavesdropping on their conversation. She felt a little bad for doing this. Mainly because it made her seem like she had absolutely no life. Geez, what am I even doing here? This is so pathetic. As she was getting up to leave, she heard the two girls talking again. So what's on your mind? Tenten asked. I was just thinking about Naruto and Ino. She heard her name. There was no way she was leaving right now. She had to stay to hear this. What about them? They are so cute, aren't they? I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right with them. I can't explain. Oh shit. Ino thought. This couldn't be a good thing. If Sakura was thinking thoughts like this, then she and Naruto simply weren't convincing enough. I don't get it. They seem like they're good for each other. You're probably a bit jealous. Tenten smiled. Sakura's cheeks flushed red. No, that wasn't it. She admitted when she first found out that they were together. She was a little more than surprised. But it was to be expected. They were the very last people she saw making a love connection. She really didn't see that one coming. To make a long story short, she simply couldn't believe it. Although she had witnessed them holding hands, touching, and calling each other names like, sweetie, or, baby. A part of her still didn't really believe it. Or maybe she just didn't want to believe it. Was she really jealous? Maybe on some level she was. She did, however, feel that Naruto had been taken away from her. Ino sat there anticipating Sakura's answer. If it was what she had hoped, she could go find Naruto, and tell him the good news. They would be able to end this little charade. Come on, forehead, just admit that you're jealous already. Sakura started. I am not jealous. Yeah, right, whatever you say, Sakura. You are so jealous. I can tell. No, I'm not. Look, think about it, Tenten. Don't you think that their relationship happened a little too fast? They had one date, the next thing they are suddenly into each other. And haven't you noticed that they never kiss? Ino swallowed the lump in her throat. So this was what the whole thing was about. Sakura had a point. In front of their friends, she and Naruto had never once kissed. The most they ever did was hug, hold hands, and call each other little pet names. She couldn't believe that she had forgotten that little detail. Couples kissed, it was a well-known fact. She had surely seen Lee and Tenten, and Hinata and Kiba enough to understand that. She didn't want their entire plan blown to pieces, because of something as simple as a kiss. Besides, it wouldn't mean anything to either of them. She was positive that Naruto still wanted Sakura. She knew that much for sure. And she was simply Naruto's friend, nothing more, nothing less. She could kiss her friend with no strings attached. If this was all true, why did she feel nervous about it? So what? Tenten said. Couples don't have to always show PDA. Who says that they have to be all over each other? Ino stood up from her position on the ground. She didn't want to hear the rest of this. Instead, she went off in search of her blonde friend. Sakura turned around. She stared at the bushes with a curious expression. What's up? Tenten questioned. It's nothing. I told you it's just weird. I can't really explain it, but something is up. Ino searched everywhere for her whisker-faced friend. He wasn't at Ichiraku's, he wasn't training, no one had seen him. It wasn't as if he had vanished off the face of the earth. Naruto, where the hell are you? She wondered. Oi Ino, you okay? Shikamaru asked. Huh? Oh hey Shika. I didn't see you laying there. You haven't seen Naruto anywhere, have you? A yawn escaped the dark-haired male. He looked up to meet his gaze. She seemed a little on edge. He was starting to wonder why that was. Naruto. No, I can't say that I've seen him. Alright. She nodded. Thanks, I'm going to go find him. She started to leave, but Shikamaru called out to her once more. Ino, I know it's not really any of my business. But are you and Naruto okay? I don't know, you seem a little panicked for some reason. We're fine. Ino smiled. There's nothing to worry about. I'll see you around, okay Shika, bye. She waved. Shikamaru only shrugged his shoulders. If Ino said everything was fine, then it had to be true. He would have to leave any suspicions or questions alone for the moment. I guess that she's okay then. The platinum blonde finally decided to check Naruto's house. He had to be in his apartment. She knocked on the door. There was no answer at first. Naruto, open up. She only knocked harder. He had yet to come to the door. A sigh escaped her. What was he doing in there that was so important? Could he seriously not hear her practically banging on his door? Naruto, she shouted. It was then that realization came to her. Perhaps he wasn't even home. It would explain why he wasn't coming to the door. Only, if he wasn't home, where the hell was he? I better go then. Just then a taller, spiky-headed blonde came to the door. He was dressed in nothing except his boxers, and a sleeveless t-shirt. A blush rose to Ino's face, yet it quickly faded. Ino-chan. He yawned. What are you doing here? Get back inside. You hardly have any clothes on. She pushed him back inside his apartment. What's up? What are you doing here? He asked again. Naruto moved the many ramen cups out of the way, so that Ino could have a seat. The blue-eyed female sat down and he did as well. She stared at the young man's arms. He had a well-toned body, she could tell. She found herself wishing that the shirt was completely off. She wanted to see just how well-toned he really was. No. She shook her head. Don't think like that. Ino took a breath. She needed to get her thoughts together. She thanked Kami that Naruto couldn't read her thoughts right now. Ino-chan. His voice held concern. Are you okay? Hi. She nodded. We've got to talk. I have some news. For one thing, Sakura is totally jealous. What? He scratched his head in confusion. She is, trust me. I heard her talking with Tenten. Even if she's not admitting it, she definitely is. Ino seemed to be completely confident in this little bit of information. Naruto, on the other hand, wasn't sure what to make of things. Ino, no. Listen, we're making progress. It may be at a slow pace, but we are making progress. There's something else though. Naruto blinked. He wasn't sure how to interpret Ino's tone of voice. She also appeared to be a little reluctant about sharing the next part of her news. Ino-chan, what is it? Well, to seal the deal, we're going to have to show a little more public affection. We're going to have to. She paused. We're going to have to kiss. As soon as he heard this, Naruto fell from his spot on the bed. He hit the floor hard. Ino simply shook her head. Get up, you idiot. But Ino-chan, we can't do that. I know. She agreed. We have to. If Sakura sees it, it's bound to have some sort of impact on her. Besides, couples do kiss. She caught the look of worry on the blonde boy's face. I know what you're thinking. It'll be okay, Naruto. It's just a quick kiss. We both know that it won't mean anything. You do want forehead, don't you? A sigh escaped Naruto. He stood up and made his way over to the window. Ino stared at him. She waited patiently for some sort of response. Ino-chan, what if this is really a waste of our time? I'm not sure if this is a good idea anymore. Maybe we should just give it up. Ino almost didn't believe the words that were coming out of his mouth. This wasn't possible. Uzumaki Naruto was quitting. Sure, he had always been a bit reluctant since the beginning. He had always had his doubts about the whole plan. But she thought that he was all for it by now. And she didn't come all this way to give up now. She wasn't ready to call this whole thing quits. Uzumaki. She called out to him in a stern voice. We didn't come all this way to give up now. We just have to push a little harder. You and I can do this. Listen, I really want to help you. At first this was just a stupid game to me. I wanted to tick Sakura off. But now, Naruto turned around to meet Ino's gaze. She was being serious, he could tell by the look in her eyes. She also had a very serious expression on her face. Ino, let me finish, okay? I want you to have the things that you want. Although, I did tell you that you needed to get over her. Forehead has always been one of those things. She's always been the girl of your dreams. So, if I can help, I want to. So, she smiled. We're in this to the very end, got it? There was something in her voice that made him not want to disappoint her. She seemed determined. He ended up giving her a half smile. Sure. Good. Now don't worry so much about that kiss. It's only for show, remember? Yeah, and I would hate for all of our progress to be ruined. We've come too far to end this thing now, especially since it's just something as simple as a kiss. I'm going to go now. I'll see you. Bye, Ino-chan. Bye. She waved. The platinum blonde exited his house. She leaned up against the door for a moment. Ino took a breath. That takes care of that. I can't believe that he almost gave up. We've worked too hard to give up. With that, Ino left his apartment and headed home. All she could really think about was the conversation with Sakura and Tenten. Why couldn't the pink-haired girl accept what she and Naruto had already produced? Now they had to actually kiss. This might prove to be difficult. Ino saw that they had a challenge ahead of them. Things should work out fine. Yeah, as long as I remain optimistic. It should work out okay. Naruto watched until the platinum blonde was out of sight. To say he was nervous about this kiss was an understatement. He was downright panicked. He was more than just a little worried about it. Then again, there was no real reason to panic. Like Ino said, it wouldn't mean anything. Yeah, Naruto laughed. It's only a little kiss. It won't mean anything, he told himself. One day the couple sat together holding hands, like they usually did. Ino figured that today was better than any other, to get this kiss over with. Unknowing to Naruto, Sakura had been nearby. Tenten was standing next to her. Sakura, what the hell are you doing? She asked. Shish. I'm watching them. Oh yeah, and you're definitely not jealous. Sakura, do you see yourself? Look at what you're doing. You're sitting here spying on them from the bushes. Sakura chose to ignore Tenten's comments. Although, she really did have a point. This was more than just a little ridiculous. This was downright crazy. Naruto felt the nervousness running through him. He was almost a complete wreck. He was sweating, and he felt like his throat was about to close in. Ino turned to look at him. She slowly loosened her grip on his hand. Your palms are really sweaty. Are you alright? She gently placed her hand to his forehead. He didn't have a fever. So he definitely wasn't sick. It was then that she came to one conclusion. Are you nervous? Yeah, kind of, he admitted. Don't be. It's not a big deal like I said. It's going to be okay. Yeah, Ino suddenly wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Naruto blinked in confusion. Why was she doing this? None of their friends were around. She was now firmly pressed up against his chest. He let out a muffled groan. Ino-chan, what are you? Shish. She's watching us. Who? Sakura. I see that pink head of hers. Who does she think she's fooling? Ino spoke in an amused tone. Ino pulled away slightly. She wrapped her arms around his neck. Aqua orbs staring into his confused cerulean blue pools. He didn't like that look in her eyes. She had something planned, he could tell. Naruto, are you ready? Ready for what? Ino rolled her eyes at his comment. It figured he would say something like that. Never mind, just come here. She then pressed her lips to his for a quick kiss. Sakura's eyes nearly fell out of their sockets. What the? Do you see that? They can't be, what? She repeated. Well, what do you expect, they are a couple. Tenten reminded her. Naruto never relaxed into her kiss. Ino frowned slightly. It was so tense and uncomfortable. The very least he could have done was kiss her back. Naruto, what the hell are you doing? Ino thought. I don't believe this. Sakura whispered. Ew. Gross, get a room you two. Kiba's voice was heard. The two blondes immediately looked up to see the feral boy. He had a grin on his face. Shut the hell up, Kiba. Ino shouted. If I want to kiss my man, I'm damn well going to. Besides, we didn't say anything when you gave Hinata-chan that hickey the other day. A slight blush rose to the brown-haired boy's face. It quickly faded. Yes. Naruto-kun and Ino-chan are just enjoying a youthful moment together. Tenten sighed heavily. She then made her way over to her boyfriend. She had to get him to shut up. Lee-kun, shut up. Oh, hello Tenten-chan. Where did you come from? Yeah, where did you come from? Ino asked with a suspicious look on her face. Tenten swallowed the lump of nervousness in her throat. She didn't want Ino to know that she was with Sakura. She really didn't want any part of that mess. I was just walking by when I heard Lee. We have a date right now, remember Lee? Huh, he was definitely confused. She stepped on his foot and pulled him closer to her. We have a date, don't we? She repeated. Oh yes, yes we do, lead the way Tenten-chan. He smiled weakly. Ino just let out a laugh. She stroked Naruto's cheek. She could see right through Tenten's quick lie. Well, she did get points for thinking quickly though. If I knew that we were going to have an audience, I would have invited them over a lot sooner, huh, Naruto-kun? Yeah, Ino-chan. He gave her a smile. Whatever. Kiba laughed. I didn't mean to crash your makeout session. I'll be on my way. See you guys. He waved. Bye, Kiba. They said together. Ino was trying to decide on whether or not she should confront Sakura. The pink-haired girl had to still be nearby. She highly doubted that Sakura had left just yet. Ino closed her eyes, and then opened them again. She was now staring in the direction where Sakura was sitting. Sakura, you can come out now. Shit. Sakura cursed. She pulled herself together before coming out from her hiding spot. Hey, you two. Did you enjoy the show? Or do we have to give you a repeat of it? No thanks. I got more than an eyeful. Good. I'm glad that you saw. Now you see just what you don't have, huh? Now you see what you're missing, don't you? What? Ino pig eye. It's perfectly okay, you know. I'm not mad because you're jealous. I think it's kind of cute actually. Sakura held her mouth open. She tried to find some words to say, only she found that she had none at this moment. I was the only thing that she could say. What's the matter, forehead? Are you speechless? Sakura closed her mouth for a moment. She needed to come up with something to say back to Ino. She couldn't let Ino get the last words in. Shut up, Ino pig. Why don't you and Naruto go back to sucking face? I have to go. Oh, Sakura. Next time ask first before you watch us. Whatever. She shouted and then stormed off. Ino waited until she was completely gone from sight before talking. She didn't want their conversation to be overheard. She turned to face her blonde-haired friend. Naruto was already staring at her. Tell me that you saw that. She was so jealous. It was written all over her face. Maybe. Naruto spoke. Naruto, she was. Trust me. We're doing good. Naruto only nodded. He then stood up. Ino watched him with a curious expression. She hoped that she didn't say anything to upset him. Hey, what's wrong, Naruto? It's nothing. He lied. I'm going to go. I'm sorry about that kiss. Don't be. It didn't mean anything. It was nothing like I said. So, if that's why you're leaving right now. She started. It isn't. Naruto quickly cut her off. I'm just going to go. Okay then. I'll see you. And next time I will get forehead to really admit that she's jealous. She's so stubborn, I swear. Okay, Ino-chan. Bye. Bye. Ino sat there for a little while longer. She put her hand to her lips. She could hardly call that a real kiss. He didn't even kiss her back. There was no feeling, except for discomfort. No, it was nothing, it meant nothing. I'm fine, she whispered to no one. With that, the blue-eyed girl got up and went home. The only thing on her mind now was Naruto, and that almost kiss that happened between them. That night Naruto was laying in bed with his arms behind his head. He stared into the ceiling. All he could think about was almost kissing Ino. He wasn't considering it a real kiss either. The only thing that happened was her lips being pressed up against his. He had never kissed her back. Naruto wondered why he couldn't reciprocate that kiss. He turned when he heard a light tapping at his window sill. He saw the platinum blonde out there. She had a smile on her face. It was late, what was she doing out there? She had to be okay, she was smiling after all. So he knew that she was in a good mood. Hey Naruto-kun, open up, okay. He went to the window. She entered and stared back into his eyes. He looked more than just a little surprised to see her. Hey Ino-chan, what are you doing here? Shish. She put her finger to his lips. She walked closer to him. The blue-eyed girl wrapped her arms around his shoulders. He stood there frozen for a moment. He almost felt the urge to wrap his arms around her waist. But decided against it. Naruto, I didn't get my kiss. You never kissed me back. You didn't give me the opportunity to really feel your lips against mine. The taller blonde's cheeks turned red. He felt his heart race, his pulse quickened. Ino was really close to him right now. He could literally feel her heartbeat. Why did she have to be this close to him right now? Her chest was pressed firmly up against his. He could feel each and every outline of her body. It was now causing certain sensations to run through him. He felt his lower half stiffen. Naruto turned red with embarrassment. If Ino had felt it, which he was sure she had. She didn't say anything about it. Ino-chan, he started. She now had her hand onto his face. She smiled up at him. There was a look of want in her blue eyes. She came here for a kiss, and she clearly wasn't leaving until she got that kiss. I want my kiss, Naruto-kun. Don't deny me this time. Let me really feel how well you can kiss a girl. Don't disappoint me. She leaned forward, pressing her lips to his. It took a moment before he relaxed into the kiss. After a few moments he eased his way into her kiss. Naruto wrapped his arms around her waist, deepening their kiss. Something that has started out so innocent and light, was now turning into something much more heated and passionate. He felt his heart pounding through his chest, with each passing moment. Naruto ended their kiss by pulling away. Ino also felt her pulse quicken. She hadn't expected it to be that good. Wow, Naruto. Who knew that you actually could kiss? Naruto instantly woke up. There was sweat pouring from his forehead. It was a dream. It all just been one big dream. None of it was real. Although to him it had felt very real. He literally felt her lips on his. Oh boy. Naruto sighed. I need to get a grip. Naruto thought about something. Maybe it wasn't a bad idea to get out of Konoha for a little while. He could definitely use a vacation. A little trip that wasn't a mission for once. Naruto nodded his head. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get out of Konoha for a little while. The next afternoon, a pink-haired girl was walking the streets of Konoha. She walked slowly with her shoulders slumped over. She was tired out of her mind. She had a terrible nightmare of Naruto and Ino getting married. The next thing she saw was a whole bunch of annoying, loud, blonde children. She shuddered at the very thought. That couldn't possibly happen. Sure, they had kissed, but marriage and children, that was out of the question. No, I can't be godmother to the spawn of Naruto and Ino pig. She stopped walking and looked towards the gates. She saw two heads of blonde hair. Speak of the devils. There was Naruto and Ino together, like usual. So she wasn't really surprised to see them together. But this time they were leaving the village. And they weren't holding hands. Hell, they weren't even standing all that close to each other. Naruto was clearly leading the way, with Ino following behind him. Sakura raised an eyebrow in question. They were too far away for her to call out to them. She knew that right now she couldn't ask any questions. She watched until both blondes were gone from sight. There is something definitely up with those two. Oh well, I guess I will confront them about it when they get back. Naruto, Ino, what's really going on with you both? Quote. The blue-eyed male put his hand to Ino's cheek. He stared down at her for a moment. There was a look of want and desire in his eyes. Those cerulean blue orbs seemed to be screaming, I want you. The platinum blonde stared wide-eyed at him. Why was he looking at her like this? Surely he couldn't be looking at her this way. Naruto gently stroked her cheek. Naruto, what are you doing? Ino-chan, I want you. I want you more than anything. He whispered to her. He put his arms around her waist, bringing her closer to him. She could feel her heartbeat through her chest. Her cheeks flushed red at his warm touch. Why was he causing these feelings to stir up inside of her? Couldn't he see what he was doing to her right now? But I thought that you wanted forehead. No. He shook his head. I want to be with you and only you. He leaned down, capturing her lips in a soft, passionate kiss. Ino tried to resist his kiss. This was wrong, wasn't it? It shouldn't be happening. He was only her friend, nothing more, nothing less. Only she soon found herself giving in and kissing him back. Ino-chan. She was suddenly pulled out of her thoughts by a loud clapping sound. It was Naruto trying to get her attention. Hey Ino-chan, what's up? Where are you right now? Naruto asked. Ino shook her head, getting rid of the remainder of her thoughts. She looked up to meet Naruto's concerned gaze. She couldn't very well tell him what she was thinking. I'm fine, sorry that I was spacing out on you. Yeah, he nodded. Are you okay? I'm fine. She tried to reassure him. He did not really believe her, but decided not to comment any further. If Ino said that she was fine, he would just have to take her word for it. Whatever she had been thinking about must have been pretty good, since she couldn't seem to pull herself out of her own thoughts. I wonder what she was thinking about. Naruto decided that it was really none of his business, and let go of any questions he might have had for her. Let's rest here for a while, okay? Ino said to him. Sure. Ino sat down underneath a nearby tree. Her blonde counterpart sat on a nearby rock. She gazed up into the sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. It was really such a beautiful day. She felt that she should definitely enjoy it. It's a really nice day today, huh? The platinum blonde told him. Yeah, Naruto agreed. It'll probably rain at some point though. She blinked, and stared up into those cerulean blue orbs. What makes you say that? She wondered. Huh. He then looked at her. Oh, you can just sense it. Hey Ino-chan, when you're ready to get going let me know. Hey, why are you going to the land of waves anyway? Ino had been in such a rush to go with the blue-eyed boy, she had forgotten to ask him why he was leaving Konoha. The only thing that she knew was that she was bored out of her mind, and she had wanted something to do. Flashback. Ino had been watching the shop, when she noticed a familiar head of spiky blonde hair outside. She saw Naruto with his bag on his back. It meant that he was leaving the village. She ran to the door of the shop. Oi, Naruto, where are you going? She was curious. Naruto turned around to see Ino. He smiled for her. Hey there Ino-chan. I'm going to the land of waves. You're going to go alone? Yes, so I better go. I'll see you when I get back Ino. He started to walk off. Ino stood there just thinking for a moment. Here she was, bored out of her mind. Was it really such a bad idea if she tagged along? It gave her something to do, that was for sure. Hey Naruto, wait. Give me a moment to get ready, okay? I want to go with you. Naruto blinked in confusion. Ino-chan, you. No. She cut him off. I really want to go, alright. I'll be right back, just wait for me. All Naruto could do was nod, because she was already gone. Okay. End. I'm going to the land of waves to visit a family over there. Oh, she blinked. So it's a social thing. Yeah, it's been a while since I last saw them. I just wanted to see how they were doing, you know. Yeah, she nodded in understanding. Whatever, it beats standing around in the flower shop all day. Ino got up from her comfortable position on the ground. She stretched her arms, a long sigh escaping her. Alright, well I guess we can keep moving then. Good. Naruto nodded. He led the way with Ino following behind him. She was actually curious to see what would happen on this little trip with Naruto. It might be interesting. I've already been surprised by him. Hey Ino-chan, you've never been to the land of the waves, huh? No, I never have. She admitted. I heard that it was a pretty poor country though. Yeah, Naruto nodded. It was, but they progressed a lot since the bridge was built. Well that's a good thing. I bet you'll be pretty excited to see your friends again, huh? Yeah, you'll like them. They're all really nice people. The blonde male paused, as he had now hit the ground hard, due to the fact that he wasn't paying attention and tripped over a rock. Damn, he cursed. Are you alright? Geez, you're clumsy. Come here, give me your hand. Naruto reached for Ino's hand, and she helped him up from the ground. Hey, Ino smiled. It looks like I'm already saving your ass. Yeah, right. Naruto smirked. I don't need you to save me, Ino-chan. Yeah, we'll see about that. We've still got plenty of time in the day. You never know what might happen. Naruto raised an eyebrow to his traveling companion. Was it him, or did it sound like she actually wanted something to go wrong, just so she could end up being his rescuer? Hey, it sounds like you want something to happen. There's nothing wrong with a little excitement. The platinum blonde told him. Yeah, I guess, but we're just going to visit some friends of mine. It's not a mission or anything, Ino, you probably thought it was right. Well, yeah, I did sort of think that it was a mission. But hey, I don't mind if it's just a social thing. I really did want to come with you. Ino paused when she realized what she said, and just exactly how she said it. Naruto only blinked. Ino-chan. Never mind that. Let's get going, okay? She spoke cheerfully and started to lead the way. Ino, you're going the wrong way. Ino quickly stopped walking. Of course she had no idea where the hell she was going. Stupid move, Ino. She muttered under her breath. Hey. Ino laughed. I'll just follow your lead then. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Ino. You don't want to get lost or something. Your father would never let me hear the end of it. Naruto could just imagine the look on Inoichi's face, if he came back to Konoha without Ino. Although, He had been able to get through an entire dinner with Mr. Yamanaka. He would be a dead man for sure if that happened. Naruto's daydream. Naruto imagined himself standing in front of Mr. Yamanaka. Hi Yamanaka-san. He smiled nervously. He nodded with his arms folded. He then looked around for any sign of his daughter. He was positive that she said she would be leaving with Naruto. He saw that the blonde male was back, but just where in the world was his princess? Naruto. Where is Ino? I assumed that she would be with you. About Ino-chan. She kind of, got lost. Hey. He laughed, running his fingers through his hair. Inoichi did not look amused in the slightest. Clearly, he had missed the joke. What do you mean she's lost? Naruto, answer me. This is all we could find of her, Mr. Yamanaka. Naruto held out Ino's hair clip. Inoichi's eyes widened as he took the hair clip from the young man. He gripped the hair clip in his hand. Uzumaki, I just have one question to ask you. Before I torture you slowly, pull out all your insides, and use your body as a scarecrow. How the hell do you lose a whole person? Naruto started. Too slow. Inoichi reached in his pocket for a kunai. End of daydream. Naruto. Damn it Naruto, are you listening? What? Geez, now who's the one spacing out? What were you thinking about anyway? Oh, just thinking about what I'd say to your father if you got lost on this trip. My father would totally hunt you down, break you into tiny pieces, and probably dispose your body somewhere that even Tsunade-sama couldn't find you. Whatever is left of you anyway. Why, yeah, he gulped. You're probably right Ino-chan. Or, I could probably make up some story about how you ran off with some rogue nin, and got married or something. Oh, and that you had no intention of ever coming back to Konoha. Ino simply rolled her eyes at his comment. Oh yeah, that's very good Naruto, just brilliant. My father would never buy that story. Well, then, what would you like me to tell him, huh? I don't know, but something else other than me marrying a rogue nin. I'm sure that you can be much more creative than that. Okay, I got it. We ran into a bunch of Westerners. And they were like training for the circus or something. When they suddenly spotted you, they had never seen someone as loud or as blonde as you so. Ino looked offended. She gripped her fist, holding in all of her rage. Uzumaki. She questioned through clenched teeth. Hi, Ino-chan. There are a few problems with your story. It's totally stupid. Why would the circus only kidnap me, when you're just as loud as me? Oh, and are you forgetting that you are a blonde too, you moron? Hey, he laughed. I just got you to admit that you're loud. Ino's cheeks flushed red from embarrassment. Naruto was right, he had managed to get the blonde to admit how loud she was. Shut up, she snapped. If anyone is loud, it's you. You got me beat, hands down. Nah, you're louder. Oh yeah, Ino shouted. Yeah, well you are the loudest times infinity. No. Naruto shook his head. You are definitely the loudest times infinity and 1, plus not 3 but 4 bowls of pork ramen. You're the loudest kunoichi in all of Konoha. Ino sighed heavily. She took her fist and punched him in the head. Ow. He cried out. Watch it Naruto. I'm sorry. He apologized. I didn't realize that you were so sensitive. What the hell are we doing? We're arguing about something that's so pointless. Yeah, you're right. He nodded his head in agreement. Besides, we both know that you are the loudest. She mumbled under her breath. Naruto pretended not to hear her. He decided that there was no point in going back and forth with Ino. Truthfully, they were both equally loud individuals. He knew it, she knew it, the bottom line was that they both knew it. There really was no point in dwelling on it, and arguing any further. Damn, I think that I liked it better when you lost your voice. At least you were quiet then Ino-chan. He turned to give her a smile. There he goes with that damn smile of his. Wait, why am I even noticing his smile? It's not that big of a deal, right? She wondered. She had to admit that he had a very nice smile. His smile seemed to brighten up his entire face. Come on Ino, Stop thinking about his smile. That should be the last thing on your mind. Before long, Ino put those sort of thoughts aside. When they came to the bridge, she immediately noticed what the words said. The Great Naruto Bridge. She read. She turned to look at her spiky-headed blonde companion. She held her mouth open in slight shock. Okay. You are the only Naruto that I know. And I doubt that there's another one running around here. So, do you want to tell me what the hell you did to get a bridge named after you? Ino asked him. Hey. Naruto laughed. I guess old man Tazuna named the bridge after me. Let's get going, okay? Naruto started walking away. Ino stared at the words one more time, before walking after him. So, you aren't going to tell me the story then? It has to be a big deal if you have a bridge named after you. It's an old story. It happened a long time ago, back when me, Sakura-chan, and, he paused. Back when Team 7 helped this old man named Tazuna. There was this creep named Zabuza. He was basically a huge threat to the construction of the bridge, and the people were terrified of him. He really slowed down things for Tazuna. So, we had to help, you know. To make a long story short, we defeated Zabuza, and helped old man Tazuna out. Hey, I didn't think that he would actually name the bridge after me. It sounds like you guys did a lot of cool things in your genin days. Choji, Shika, and I never went up against a known criminal when we were younger. Naruto nodded. Maybe so, but you guys have amazing teamwork. I guess it's because your father started the whole Ino Shika Cho thing before you guys, right? He wondered. Yeah, you have a point. Ino agreed. Naruto came to a stop. He seemed focused on the ground for some reason. Ino raised an eyebrow to him. Hey, what's wrong? She wondered. I was just thinking about the fight we had here with Haku. I always sort of felt bad for him. He really didn't deserve to die. Ino could see the evident sadness in his eyes. It was written all over the young man's face. Who's Haku? He was Zabuza's right-hand man. He was completely loyal to him, and did pretty much whatever he wanted. He wasn't that much older than me when he died. I thought that if we had lived in a different time, he and I could have been friends. Ino put her hand to Naruto's shoulder. She hated to see him down like this, although she could definitely understand why. I'm sure that Haku is in a good place now. Yeah, Naruto smiled bravely. Let's get going, okay? Sure. The companions continued on in an almost deathly silence. There was very little conversation between the two of them. Ino assumed that it was because this place held a lot of memories for him here. He was only 12 when it happened. It had to have a big impact on him. She would often steal glances at him every now and then. Ino felt that there wasn't really much she could say to him. Perhaps maybe in this case silence was golden. She should probably leave him to his own thoughts for now. Ino-chan, I'm sorry for getting all quiet on you. He soon apologized. Don't apologize, it's really okay. You probably have a lot on your mind, right? She asked in a knowing tone. Yeah, I guess I do. Out of the way, coming through. A boy's voice was heard. Ino and Naruto turned around to see a young dark-haired boy running at full speed. He went crashing into the two blonde, causing Naruto to fall down on the ground. Damn it, what's the big idea? Naruto asked the boy with his fist raised. The boy then turned around. He was greeted by that unruly blonde hair, cerulean blue orbs, and those all too familiar whisker marks. Naruto Ni-chan. Huh, you know him? Ino asked while helping her friend off of the ground. Yeah, the boy nodded. Naruto Ni-chan, don't tell me that you forgot all about me. Naruto studied the young boy's face. He was definitely for sure a few years younger than them. And although he looked different, much more mature. Naruto knew those big dark eyes anywhere. Hey Inari. He smiled for his friend. Oh good. He sighed in relief. I was about to get worried there for a second, you know, seeing as how you're closer to middle age now. The dark-haired boy teased. Very funny Inari, I never forget. Naruto said proudly. Okay, I get it. So, Ni-chan, who's the pretty girl? He pointed to Ino. A slight blush rose to Ino's cheeks. A compliment was always appreciated, no matter who it was from. Naruto pretended to look around. Nope. No pretty girls around here, that's just Ino. He laughed. What? Ino exploded. She quickly punched him aside the head. Inari laughed upon seeing the fresh lump on Naruto's head. Oh, I get it. So she's your girlfriend. I can tell by the way that she hits you. Ino grew silent for a moment. Naruto turned his gaze elsewhere. Before long he put his familiar goofy grin on. No, Ino-chan and I are just friends. He spoke honestly. Oh cool, so then I can try my luck with her. No way, Naruto said. Ino only goes for the cool, awesome guys like me, right Ino-chan? Wrong. She shook her head. Aw man. Naruto sighed. It was worth a try. Come on Naruto, Ino-chan, let's go to my house. Mom and Gramps will be very excited to see you. With that the three of them started for Inari's house. It didn't take long for the questions to start rolling. Inari wanted to know what Naruto had been up to. Had he done any other cool things since they last saw one another? If Ino wasn't really his girlfriend, then where was she? Was she locked up in a cage somewhere? Did he ever let her out for sunlight? Naruto hesitantly answered all of his questions, even all the really stupid ones. Wow Naruto ni-chan, I can't believe that you don't have a girlfriend. You're so cool. Hey, I don't exactly see your fan club around here. At this the dark-haired boy laughed. Just because you don't see them, that doesn't mean that they aren't around. Inari said. That's a good one Inari. Ino laughed, mainly because of the questionable look on Naruto's face. He probably was just kidding about that fan club thing. Inari then turned his attention on to the pretty blonde girl. He couldn't understand why such a pretty girl would cover half of her face like that. What was the deal with the extra long bang? He had to know the answer to that question. Hey, Ino-chan. Yes, Ino answered. I don't get it. What's with the hairdo? Why are you hiding so much of your face? Is there something wrong with your eye? Do you have a glass eye or something? Oh, I know maybe you have two-color eyes and you don't want anyone to see it, is that it? Ino looked almost stunned. She didn't know whether to scream or to punch him in the face. How dare he ask so many stupid questions? Questions about her hair no less. Oh great, now you've done it. She'll kill us both. Naruto sighed. For the record, both of my eyes are blue. No, I don't have a glass eye. No, I'm not cross-eyed, nor do I have a lazy eye. They are perfectly normal, and they've been that way since I was born. I just like to wear my hair this way, is that okay with you? Inari started. Sure. Good. Ino smiled. Now please, no more ridiculous questions. I didn't think it was so ridiculous. Inari whispered to Naruto. Naruto agreed with him. Oh that's right, Mom and Gramps. Let's get going. The party of three soon arrived at Inari's house. Tazuna was already seated outside. Inari, you've brought some friends, have you? Oh, hello there Naruto, it's been a while. Yeah, it sure has. Inari's mother soon came outside to see what was happening. She certainly hadn't expected to see Naruto standing there. What's happening out here? Oh, hello there Naruto-kun, it's been so long. My, you've grown into such a handsome young man. She paused as she noticed Ino standing there next to him. She was positive that she had never seen the platinum blonde before. Oh hello there. You must be a friend of Naruto-kun's. Yeah, Ino nodded. Hi, my name is Ino Yamanaka. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you Ino. And Naruto, it's about time that you stopped by to visit us. I was getting worried that you weren't ever going to come back. Yeah, he nodded knowingly. I'm sorry that I haven't been by sooner. It's alright Naruto ni-chan, at least you came now. And we will have a nice dinner to celebrate. Tazuna spoke in a cheerful tone. Naruto, I take it that you saw the name of the bridge. Yep, I sure did. Naruto nodded. Thanks a lot. No problem, we should be thanking you, you know that. Ino listened while Inari, his mother, and old man Tazuna caught up on old times. It was a nice sight to see. It was certainly true Naruto could make friends with anyone. I better go and get dinner started. Would you like some help? Ino asked Inari's mother. Sure. That would be great, Ino-chan. I really appreciate it. Ino followed the older woman into the house. Naruto decided that he would stay outside with Tazuna and Inari for a while. So, you decided to bring your girlfriend on your visit, Tazuna nudged him in the shoulder. Huh. His cheeks flushed red. No, Ino-chan is just a friend. What a shame. If I were your age, I would have already made my move. The old man spoke proudly. And you would have got rejected in a heartbeat. Ino-chan goes for those weird, pretty boy types. What? Tazuna frowned. Ha. He's right, Gramps. Inari laughed. Inside the house, Ino was helping Inari's mother in the kitchen. So, if you don't mind my asking, how long have you and Naruto-kun been together? Ino stopped cutting vegetables and started coughing. It took a few moments for her to regain her composure. Oh, Naruto and I are only friends. I was just tagging along on this little trip of his. I see. That's okay, you don't have to give me the details, Ino-chan. She smiled and went back to the soup she was making. Ino sighed in relief. She was glad that she wouldn't ask any more questions. Although Ino could tell that she really didn't believe her. When she heard laughing, she looked outside to see the boys playing. Naruto now had Inari tied up to a tree. Where he managed to get a rope from, she didn't know. Yet seeing Naruto so happy made her feel happy as well. He hasn't changed a bit, huh? Inari's mother spoke. Yeah, he may look more mature, but he's still the same old Naruto. I'm glad of that. He was always a very likable young man. We've never forgotten about him, and I'm glad that he never forgot us. Ino smiled for her. Don't worry, he'd never forget his friends. Dinner that evening was full of laughter and fun. Tazuna was making jokes about Naruto and his grandson. Naruto was firing back by calling him a sleazy old man. Even Inari had to get his jokes in here and there. So Naruto, do you think that you'll ask Ino-chan out sometime in the near future? You know, some time before you're my age. Tazuna laughed. The two blondes looked away, avoiding each other's gaze. Dad, that's not very nice. From what I hear, they are only friends. Yeah, that's right, Ino whispered. Yep. Naruto nodded. You both should stay here the night. The older woman suggested. It's late, you can head back to Konoha tomorrow. The blonde boy started. That'll be great. Ino smiled politely. You'll have to share the guest room. But it's big enough so that you both can have your own space. It should be okay, right? Both teens turned slightly red, due to the fact that they had to share the room. Sure. Naruto soon said. Yeah, it'll be okay as long as Naruto keeps his hands to himself. You can resist me, can't you, Naruto? Ino smiled playfully. The boy swallowed the lump in his throat. He then put a smile of his own on his face. Of course, you're the one who can't keep your hands to yourself. Ino-chan, try not to have your way with me when I'm sleeping, okay? Ino started. Now you two settle down, okay? This is not the time for a lover's quarrel. Old man. Naruto went wide-eyed. Tazuna let out another laugh. Ino and Naruto could see that there would be plenty more couple jokes to come. You two be good, okay? Inari teased. No funny business. Naruto could only sigh. This was definitely going to be a long night. Meanwhile, back in Konoha, Inoichi Yamanaka paced back and forth in the living room. It was getting rather late, and there was still no sign of his daughter. I wonder where Ino-chan is, it's getting kind of late. Just then Ino's mother remembered something. Oh yes, Ino-chan isn't here. She went to the land of waves with Naruto-kun. What? Inoichi asked. Yeah, she left earlier this afternoon. I'm assuming that it's a mission. The older male stopped pacing for a moment. He didn't have a overall problem with Naruto. In fact, he thought that he was a very nice young man. The fact of the matter was that he was a boy. His gender was the problem. Boys were not to be trusted. And he and Ino were alone together. Anything could happen. You let our princess out on an overnight trip with a boy. Inoichi-kun, settle down. It's Naruto, remember? We like Naruto, we trust Naruto. She put her hands onto her husband's shoulders in an effort to calm him down. Inoichi took a deep breath. He knew that his wife had made a valid point. Okay, you're right, dear. We trust Naruto. Inoichi took another breath and closed his eyes. Uzumaki. He shouted. You'd better keep your hands to yourself or you're dead. Naruto froze, a sudden uneasy feeling running through his body. He could have sworn someone had just shouted very loudly. Naruto Ni-chan, are you okay? Inari asked. Huh. Oh yeah, I'm fine. The two boys were now sitting outside watching the stars. It was really a beautiful night. It was cool of you to visit Ni-chan. Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't come sooner. I was just a little preoccupied. He admitted. Unknowing to them, a certain blonde female was watching them. Naruto leaned back against a nearby rock. Hey Ni-chan, what happened to your friends Sakura and Sasuke? Why didn't they come with you? Oh, Sakura-chan is back in Konoha, and Sasuke. He paused. I don't know where he is. He spoke honestly. Inari noticed the look in Naruto's eyes. He saw that the topic of Sasuke was a sore subject. He decided to talk about something else. So, are you sure that Ino-chan isn't your girlfriend? You two seem pretty close to me. Naruto just laughed. He then put his hand to Inari's hair, messing up his scruffy black locks. No, Ino-chan goes for those really weird pretty boy types. She and I are just friends, she wouldn't go for me. He spoke honestly. Okay, if you say so. Hey, I'm going to go to bed now. I told Ino-chan that she could have my room, since it would be weird for you two to share a room. Where will you sleep? Naruto wondered. It's fine, I'll take the couch, it's not a big deal. You guys are guests. I'll see you in the morning, bye. Bye. Good night, Inari. Naruto was now alone. He soon got into a more comfortable position. The young man was now lying with his hands behind his head. He took a breath before speaking. Hey, Ino-chan, you can come out now. The platinum blonde soon walked over to him. She had a seat besides her whisker-faced friend. Are you okay? She wondered. Yeah, I'm fine. He nodded. Sasuke is still a tough subject for you. Naruto had always felt badly for not being able to get Sasuke to come back to Konoha. It took a while, but he was soon able to accept that Sasuke had to make his own choices. If one day, the Uchiha decided to come back, then he would like that. But he wasn't going to go out there and drag him back. There was no point in chasing after him anymore. I think that I'll always feel bad about not bringing him back. And sometimes I do feel like I should have tried harder. Naruto, no one tries harder than you. You did everything you could to get him to come back. If Sasuke can't appreciate that, then it's his loss. Naruto raised an eyebrow to Ino. It sounded as if she was no longer a Sasuke fangirl. Sounds like you're not a big fangirl anymore. I've been over that one for years. It was just a stupid crush that got out of control. I know that he was your friend, so it's okay that you think about him. Naruto noticed the somewhat sad look in her eyes. He put his hand to her shoulder. You still think about Asuma-sensei a lot, huh? Yeah, she whispered. He was like a second father to me. So, I'll always think of him. But there's a difference in our situations, Naruto. Asuma-sensei is dead, Sasuke is probably still out there somewhere. He might come back one day, if so then you get your best friend back. But if not, at least you know that you did everything that you could. Naruto only nodded. He knew that Ino had a point. I guess what I'm saying is don't put your life on hold. And stop worrying about if you didn't try hard enough. We both know that you did. Don't have any more regrets, okay? Alright, Ino-chan. Good. A yawn escaped her. She stood up and stretched. I'm going to go to bed now. What about you? She wondered. I'm going to stay out here for a little while longer. Good night, Ino-chan. Good night, Naruto. Don't stay out here too long, okay? Sure thing. Ino left her blonde-haired friend alone. He used the time to reflect on everything the platinum blonde had said to him. He was aware that everything that went down with Sasuke wasn't his fault. And he did indeed try his hardest. This was just one of those things that was beyond his control. Ino-chan was right, I did everything that I could. Naruto decided that he would take the blue-eyed girl's advice. He shouldn't have any more regrets. It was best to just move on and live his life to the fullest. Besides, he smiled. I can't become Hokage if I'm slacking off. The blonde boy stood up from the ground. He decided that it was time for him to retire as well. The entire house was quiet, meaning that everyone had to be asleep. Naruto found his room and sat down on the bed. He put on his infamous black nightcap. He had a feeling that he would need it. A yawn escaped him. He didn't know why he suddenly felt so tired. He knew that he would get a good sleep tonight. He was definitely tired enough. Naruto laid flat on his back, gazing up into the ceiling. It was such a nice, peaceful night. He shouldn't have had a problem falling asleep. Although he felt asleep, it simply wasn't coming for him. He tried sleeping in different positions, only nothing seemed to work. He eventually stood up and walked around the room. He paced back and forth. Gotta get to sleep. After a few minutes he stopped pacing and got back into bed. It was then the door opened. Naruto looked up. He saw that it was Ino. Her long blonde hair had been released from its ponytail. Her hair was now cascading around her shoulders. He couldn't make out her facial expression, but he knew that it was her. Ino-chan, he mumbled. The blue-eyed girl stood there for a moment. She entered the room, and made her way over to him. Naruto watched as she got under the covers with him. Ino wrapped her arms around his waist. Ino, what are you? He noticed that the young woman's eyes were closed. She had been asleep the whole time. He had no idea that Ino was a sleepwalker. She was sleepwalking. Naruto tried to move her away from him, only she had a deathly tight grip on him. She clearly had no intention on letting him go. He could barely even move over. They were extremely close right now. A sigh escaped him. It didn't look like he was going anywhere tonight. A small smile came to his face. Well, Ino-chan, it looks like we're stuck for the night, huh? Back in Konoha, Inoichi's father's senses were tingling. He stood up from his chair and gazed out of the window. Something was happening, he was sure of it. Something is definitely happening out there. If my daughter has been deflowered or violated, Uzumaki is a dead man. Inoichi-kun, stop with the threats already and go to bed. Hi. He nodded in defeat. Yes, ma'am. Naruto's eyes popped open. A sneeze escaped him. Shit. It looks like someone's talking about me. That can't be good. The blue-eyed male looked down towards the sleeping Ino. Good night, Ino-chan, he whispered. The morning came. Ino felt the bright sunlight peering through the window. She put her hand onto something firm. Whatever she was laying on was certainly warm. What is this? A pair of blue eyes slowly opened. She looked up to see that she was sleeping on Naruto. The young man was asleep with his mouth wide open, and there was a drool line running down his chin. Oh, it's just Naruto. She closed her eyes again. It took Ino a minute to realize what was going on. Ino immediately opened her eyes. Naruto. I was sleeping on Naruto. What the hell is he doing here? Naruto. She shook him. There was no response from him. He looked like he was a heavy sleeper anyway. The only thing that could be heard was the sound of snoring. Boy, he can sure snore. Naruto, wake up, she shouted in his ear. The second blonde opened his eyes, and focused them onto Ino. Did she really have to be so loud this early in the morning? He didn't know what time it was. But it had to be too early in the morning for her to be shouting. Oh, Ino-chan, you're awake. Yeah, she nodded. Naruto, I just have one question. What is it? What the hell are you doing in bed with me? At this point Naruto sat up as well. He hadn't forgotten that she had found her way into his bedroom last night. How could he have forgotten that little detail? They had fallen asleep so close to one another, and on top of that she refused to let him go last night. Calm down, Ino-chan. No way. How did we end up like this? What happened? Didn't I tell you to try and resist me? Naruto frowned at this. Ino clearly had no idea what happened the previous night. He could see that he would have to explain to her what happened. Hey, you came on to me. Naruto told her. What? She exploded. Well, you did. Naruto nodded. You don't remember. You were sleepwalking, and you found your way in here. You got into bed with me, Ino. I thought I told you not to have your way with me while I was trying to sleep. Shut up. Ino snapped. She suddenly grew quiet as realization came over her. Oh, I was doing it again, huh? He blinked. She didn't strike him as the type of person that would sleepwalk. Ino let a yawn escape her. I'm sorry then. She apologized. Wait. You've done this before. So I'm not the first guy that you've jumped into bed with. I'm hurt. Naruto feigned sadness. Ino held her mouth open slightly. She resisted the urge to hit him upside the head. This is serious. I used to have really bad nightmares around the time Asuma-sensei died. I started to sleepwalk every time I had a nightmare. Ino. He started. Suddenly the door opened. Naruto ni-chan good. Inari stopped when he noticed the two blondes in bed together. They stared at him for a moment. A smile appeared onto the dark-haired boy's face. Whoa, it looks like I've interrupted something. I thought that I told you two no funny business. Ino turned red. That's not funny. Shut up, Inari. She spoke and threw a pillow at his head. For your information, we're in bed like this by accident. Inari dodged the pillow. He then let out a laugh. Yeah, alright, sorry. He apologized. Anyways, mom is making breakfast. Come down whenever you're ready. I'll go now. Inari then closed the door behind him. Ino was the first one to get out of the bed. Ino-chan, how often do you sleepwalk? Not all the time, usually after a nightmare. Funny thing though, I really can't remember what the dream was about. Well then maybe it's a good thing that you don't remember. Maybe. She agreed. Listen, I'm sorry about coming in here like that. I probably scared the hell out of you or something. Naruto just shook his head. He was a little surprised, but he wouldn't say that she had scared the hell out him. If anything, he was probably worried about her. No, I'm glad that you're okay now. Thanks. Oh wait, she remembered something. What was that crap last night about how I would never go for you? She asked him. Huh, oh, you shouldn't sell yourself short. You did manage to get me into bed with you, right? She laughed. Naruto frowned. That's not funny, Ino-chan. Yeah, but seriously, don't be so down on yourself. I'm going to go. I'll see you downstairs. Okay, Ino-chan. Naruto watched her leave. He really was glad that she was okay now. In the back of his mind, he wondered why she had found her way into his room. It was probably nothing more than a coincidence. But she had found her way into his room. Out of all the places she could have ended up, why his room? He supposed that it was a good thing that she ended up there. At least she didn't get hurt. Naruto went downstairs. He took a seat next to Inari. Tazuna was already seated at the table. Inari smiled at Naruto before turning to his grandfather. Gramps, guess what? What is it? Guess where I found Naruto and Ino-chan? They were in bed together. Tazuna's eyes widened to the size of saucers, and he began to cough loudly. Naruto glared at Inari. He should have known that little boy would pull something like this. He should have realized as soon as he saw him smiling. I thought that you were only friends, Naruto-kun. We are. The blonde nodded. I hope that you were. Careful. The old man spoke with his eyebrows raised. What? Naruto spoke. Inari laughed at the confused expression on his friend's face. Clearly Naruto didn't get what Tazuna was trying to say to him. He means that he hopes that you used protection. Inari laughed again. What? There was no reason to be careful. Inari is totally taking things out of line. Yeah, we slept in the same bed last night but nothing happened. Oh, really? Tazuna asked with his eyebrow raised again. He didn't believe Naruto. Yes. Naruto nodded. Yeah, Naruto ni-chan is right. They were both fully clothed, thank God. Not that I would mind seeing Ino-chan, she is so hot. Tazuna and Naruto grew silent. Neither one of them having anything to say right now. Inari hadn't noticed because he was too busy drooling, and off somewhere in his own world. Inari. Naruto started. Inari, if I were you I'd run. Huh? What? Why? There was now the sound of knuckles being cracked. Inari gulped. He turned around to meet the pissed off face of Ino. She looked less than pleasant right now. You want to see what, Inari? You have 5 seconds to run. Ino told him. He didn't wait long. The dark-haired boy got up and ran off. Moments later Ino was running after him. Get back here you little perv. Tazuna and Naruto could not contain their laughter. Inari ran out of the front door with Ino hot on his heels. She had no intention of giving up. Damn, she won't give up. Inari thought. Naruto, you better go make sure that everything is okay out there. Tazuna told him. Judging by the sounds of Inari's screams and pleas, Ino was showing little or no mercy at all. Okay. Naruto laughed. I'm going. Naruto walked outside to see Ino holding the younger boy in a headlock. Ino-chan, please let me go. He begged. No, not until you apologize for being a mindless pervert. Okay. Inari looked up to see Naruto standing there grinning. Ni-chan help me. No way. You got into this mess, you get yourself out. Inari sighed. He saw that Naruto would not be of any help to him. He would be on his own on this one. Apologize. Ino spoke through clenched teeth. What? For saying you were beautiful. You know why, you idiot. Inari struggled to break free of Ino's strong grip. Inari, Naruto-kun, Ino-chan, come in, breakfast is ready. Ino slowly started to loosen up her grip on the young man. I will let you go if you say sorry. Inari, you better just apologize. Naruto warned him. Alright already, I'm sorry Ino-chan. What are you sorry for? She grabbed him again. I'm sorry for being a mindless pervert. That's a good boy. She smiled and then let him go. Inari picked himself up off the ground and ran back into the house. That was the first and last time that he would ever piss Ino off. She was truly merciless. And Inari didn't want to die at the hands of a girl, no matter how beautiful she was. You scared him pretty good Ino-chan. Yeah I know. She grinned. Oh well, serves him right. I'm starving, let's go get some breakfast. Ino started walking towards the house. She didn't notice the nearby rock and ended up tripping. She almost fell to the ground, but Naruto caught her by the waist. Are you okay? She looked up, aqua orbs staring into his curious cerulean pools. Hi, I'm fine. The two blondes stood staring at each other. Naruto had yet to let her go. He started. What's wrong? Are you going to kiss me for real this time or something? She teased. A slight blush rose to his cheeks. They didn't even notice Tazuna, Inari, or Inari's mother standing there watching them closely. Well, what are you waiting for, boy, go for it. Tazuna said. Yeah, if you're going to kiss Ino-chan, then do it already. Inari chimed in. And I thought that you two were only friends. Inari's mother smiled. They turned their attention to the family. Naruto laughed and slowly he let Ino go. Ha, we weren't about to kiss. Ino-chan tripped, I was just helping her up. Yeah, Ino nodded. He wasn't really going to kiss me. Okay. The older woman spoke. Come in so that we can have breakfast. Tazuna shook his head in disappointment. Naruto could only shrug his shoulders. No more words were spoken, as everyone went back into the house to have breakfast. Ino and Naruto sat across from each other. Neither one of them giving the other eye contact. Instead they were both focused on the food on their plates. This is very good. It reminds me of my mother's cooking. Ino spoke cheerfully. Thank you very much Ino-chan. That's my mom. No one cooks like her. Inari spoke proudly. The rest of breakfast went by pretty quietly. With hardly any conversations going on. Naruto couldn't really take the silence. It was starting to bother him, only at the same time he actually couldn't think of anything to say. Naruto, you barely touched your food. Is everything alright? Inari's mother wondered. Oh, it's fine. I guess that I'm just not that hungry. After breakfast, Ino and Naruto sat outside talking about what their next move was going to be. Hey Ino-chan, do you want to go back to Konoha today, or what? I would like to stay a bit longer, but I never actually gave my mother all of the details. I just don't want my parents to be worried. Naruto nodded in understanding. He could certainly respect that. So, they would head back to Konoha today. I understand, we'll go back today. Not that I wouldn't mind staying, they're all really nice people. I'm going to miss them. Even Inari. Naruto laughed. Yes, even the perv. Ino and Naruto looked up when they heard footsteps. There was Tazuna and his family, they were all smiling. It's okay if you two have to go. But remember, you both are always welcome here. Thanks. Ino smiled. Yeah, don't be strangers, Ino-chan, Naruto-kun. Please come back anytime. We will. Naruto nodded. Once everyone said their final goodbyes, and Inari's mom handed them some lunch to take with them, Naruto and Ino left the house. Bye Ino-chan, Naruto-ni-chan. Inari shouted. Bye. The two teens spoke. The journey across the bridge was a pretty silent one. Ino let out a sigh and put her hands behind her head. I'm really going to miss them. It was a fun visit. We can always come back Ino-chan. In fact, maybe next time we can go to Suna. I know the cage personally. Naruto smiled. Ino looked over to her friend. She had no idea that he knew Gaara-sama in a personal manner. You know the cage. How did you two become friends? We have a lot in common. If anyone understood the pain that he felt, it was Gaara. They had been hated because they were both Jinchurikis. Only Gaara had ultimately suffered more than Naruto had. Naruto was always grateful to have people like Iruka-sensei and the Sandaime. Although, now Gaara had no longer hosted Shukaku inside of him. He could definitely understand Naruto's pain. What do you have in common? She asked. We, both. Yeah, well, he and I both understand what it's like to be alone. Ino blinked in confusion. Naruto started to walk ahead of her. She ran to catch up to him. Naruto, what do you mean? Don't worry about it, Ino-chan. How can I not? She whispered. Once across the bridge, Naruto noticed something in the grass. His eyes lit up at all the ryo lying on the ground. Look at all that, Ino-chan. Maybe someone dropped it. He quickly ran over to the spot under the tree. Ino looked around in a suspicious manner. Naruto, you probably shouldn't. He bent down to pick up the money. He turned to her and grinned. Ino-chan, it's okay. Suddenly a net came flying down and captured the surprised Uzumaki. Ino sighed. She tried to warn him that it might be some sort of trap. She pulled out a kunai and ran over to free him. You idiot, did you really think it was not a trap? Oh, look at what we have here. Two little Konoha shinobi. A man spoke. Ino and Naruto looked up to see a dark-haired man standing in the tree. Who the hell are you? Naruto asked. The man let out a laugh. He leaned on his sword for support. It looked like a heavy sword. Naruto was instantly reminded of Zabuza's sword and Kisami's sword Samahata. My name is not of importance, little boy. Ino released Naruto from the net. She helped him up from the ground. Aren't you the tough one? Ino spoke. That's a pretty lousy trick to pull. I don't think it's so lousy. Your foolish little friend over here fell for it right away. Naruto squinted his eyes. He glared at the tall stranger. Oh yeah, you freaky looking bastard. Come over here and say it to my face. The stranger jumped down from his spot in the tree. He slung his sword over his shoulder with ease. Naruto didn't even wait another second before running towards the stranger. Naruto, wait. Ino called out to him. Don't you worry, Ino-chan, I'll take this bastard out, it's no problem. The man swung his sword at Naruto. The blonde dodged and jumped. He grabbed Naruto by his shirt collar and then threw into a nearby tree. Shit. Naruto cursed. You're quite the impatient one, aren't you? You just got lucky. Naruto stood up quickly. Ino wondered why he didn't seem to be in any pain after colliding with that tree. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. 5 clones appeared around him. The stranger just let out a laugh. Was this boy serious with a simple jutsu like that? He knew that he could take it easy around these Konoha shinobi. All of the Narutos ran at him. Well, I just have to slice each and every one of you down until I find the real one. He instantly sliced through all of the clones. He spotted the real Naruto. He ran forward, grabbing him. You're a pathetic little boy. He spoke. Naruto, be careful. Ino tried to warn him. It was already too late. The young man was now trapped in a genjutsu. Naruto looked to see that he was alone. There was no Ino to be found. Ino-chan. He called out. He received no answer. Suddenly the sky started to turn a dark red. He looked up to see the stranger in black. He had that same twisted grin on his face. Hello there. Where is Ino-chan? The man let out a laugh. He could see that Naruto was starting to get agitated. Don't fucking laugh, you bastard. Where is she? Oh, you mean your pretty little friend. He reached around him to reveal that he had captured the platinum blonde. Ino. He tried to run to her. Only he couldn't because he was now being held back by two very large men. He wasn't going anywhere. Naruto. She called out to him. She tried to free herself from the stranger. But he had her legs and arms tied with ropes. She was now stuck in his clutches. Now you get to watch as I slice your pretty friend to pieces. No. He shouted. Let her go. He struggled to break free from his current state. Naruto, it's okay. I don't blame you for this, She was cut off when the man shoved a sword into her stomach. Naruto flinched when he heard an ear-piercing scream. Ino. Naruto. She breathed. It's okay. He took two more swords and continued to stab the platinum blonde. Naruto could do nothing except watch this scene play out before him. Fuck. I gotta get out of this genjutsu. Naruto knew that he needed to get out of this. He needed to make sure that Ino was okay. Meanwhile, Ino was leaning up against a tree. She needed to help Naruto get out of that genjutsu he was trapped in. The dark-haired man looked around for any sign of Ino. It looks like you were abandoned by your teammate. How unfortunate. Ino really wished that she had Shikamaru here. He would always watch over her whenever she left her body. Since there was no one that could watch over her, she dared not even attempt her jutsu. Kage Bunshin no jutsu, she whispered. Unfortunately, she was only able to make two clones. But it would be enough to cause a distraction. Distract that creep, while I go help Naruto. The two clones nodded and they ran off. Ino ran through the bushes making sure to keep hidden. Oh, what's this? He noticed the two Ino clones. Not this silly little trick again. I guess I better find the real one. Ino noticed Naruto on the ground in his unconscious state. She crawled over to him and put her hands over his chest. Release. Blue eyes instantly popped open. He sat up with the help of Ino. Are you okay? She asked. Yeah, I'm fine. I've never been good at genjutsu. He smiled. The man turned around to see that Ino had released Naruto from the genjutsu. I should have realized this. It was a foolish error on my part, never mind that. It won't happen again. The dark-haired male came charging at the two teens. Ino put her arm around his shoulder and lifted him up. Together they jumped, dodging his blade. Naruto, if you watch my body, I can get into his mind. No way, Ino-chan. I don't want you to get hurt. Where are you both hiding now, you little punks? Ino then realized that she still had her arm wrapped around his shoulder. She quickly let him go. Naruto, I'll be alright. You distract him with your shadow clones, and I'll get into his mind. Naruto shook his head. No. I don't like your idea, I'm sorry, Ino-chan. He sent her a smile, before running back out to face the man. Naruto. Okay, you bastard, try this on for size. Ino watched as the young man started to perform his Rasengan. Rasengan. He cried out and went charging at the man. He used the blade to shield himself from a direct hit with the Rasengan. Pretty neat trick, kid. You put a dent in my sword. Naruto only smirked. Don't worry, next time I'll get you. Who says there will be a next time? He tried to strike Naruto with his sword, but Naruto jumped back. Ino pulled out a kunai and ran forward. I can't let you do everything, Naruto. She smiled. She tried to slice him with the kunai, only he dodged. You missed, girl. Whatever. She smiled. Shinranshin no jutsu. It was over. She left her body and entered the strangers. Naruto leapt forward to catch her body from falling to the ground. Hey, this guy isn't so smart after all. Ino-chan. Yep. Naruto, take care of this punk. With you inside of his body. No way. I don't want to hurt you. I'll be okay. Suddenly the man hunched over, holding his head. He was trying to get Ino out of his head. Stupid girl, get out of my head. It didn't take him very long to get control of his body. In a matter of minutes he casted her out of his mind. Ino-chan, are you okay? Hi, I'm fine. That was a pretty neat trick, girl. Too bad it didn't work. Naruto lifted Ino off of the ground. The two of them jumped back from the stranger's blade again. Ino, you stay over here. I'll take care of this guy. But, trust me, it'll be alright. He smiled. Okay. Now let's get serious. He told the man. You mean you were just kidding before? Alright, let's get serious. Come on. He motioned for Naruto to come charging at him. Ino cursed herself for not being able to help him right now. She felt useless while watching Naruto do all of the fighting. I'm no good to him right now. I can't even help him. While fighting Naruto, the stranger in black got an idea. He would use Naruto's weakness against him. He could think of no other weakness than Ino. She was his comrade, naturally he would want to protect her. Who do you want to protect? Huh? Naruto asked. Who do you want to protect? I think that you want to protect your little girlfriend over there. The man stepped back and flung his sword in Ino's direction. Oh shit. Ino cursed. That blade was going to pierce right through her. She needed to move out of the way, and she needed to do so now. She closed her eyes anticipating the feel of the blade. Only it didn't come. She opened her eyes when she didn't feel anything. There was Naruto standing in front of her. The sword had went through him. She noticed his blood leaking on the ground. Naruto, I told you that I didn't want you to get hurt. He coughed. Hey Ino-chan, it looks like you got what you wanted. Something did happen to us on our trip. Naruto, you idiot. What were you thinking? Naruto turned back to look at the man. His eyes flashed red. You tried to hurt her. Naruto pulled the sword out of his stomach. Ino watched as more blood leaked onto the ground. Naruto went charging at the dark-haired male. No one got away with hurting, or attempting to hurt one of his friends. Ino felt helpless once more, while watching Naruto attack the stranger. He pushed him to the ground and proceeded to claw at him. Ino's eyes widened in surprise. Naruto was not showing any signs of slowing down. She wondered how he could keep going with all that blood pouring from his wound. Naruto. She ran forward, putting her hands to his shoulders. She needed to get him to calm down. Naruto, stop, it's okay. You can stop. After a few more moments of slicing up the man with his claws, he slowly started to calm down. Naruto. Ino pulled him back. Naruto, calm down. It's alright. Come here so that I can heal your wound. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Ino blinked. How could he possibly be okay, after that sword wound through the stomach? You've got to be kidding. You're hurt. I'll be fine. He nodded. Is he? Ino checked for any signs of life. The man wasn't dead, but he was badly injured. No, he isn't dead. But you seriously need to let me heal your wound. Naruto slowly stood up, only he didn't stay up for long before falling back down. Ino moved to him. She put her hand over his wound and a green light emitted from her hand. There. That wasn't so bad, was it? Naruto, what the hell were you thinking? I had to protect you. She stared at him and he stared back at her. The two blondes not really knowing what to say at this moment. Ino opened her mouth to say something, but Naruto cut her off before she had the chance. Come on, let's go before this bastard opens his eyes. Naruto didn't wait another second before walking off. Ino saw that she had no other choice, except to go after him. She still had one major question on her mind though. How can he move around after what happened? She wondered. The two blondes walked back to Konoha in complete silence. Ino had a lot of questions on her mind. Questions that only Naruto could give the answers to. Only at this time, she found that now wasn't the right place to ask them. As they were approaching the gates of Konoha, it had begun to rain. The rain seemed to only come down harder. It didn't look like it was going to stop. The traveling companions entered the village. Naruto stood there for a moment. He then turned back to look at Ino. She was already staring at him with a curious expression on her face. She wanted to know what he was thinking, only she knew that now was not the time or place to invade his mind. Naruto. She started. Ino-chan, it's raining really hard right now. Let's go back to my place, okay? I'm sure that you have some questions for me, right? Ino only nodded. She felt that this conversation would be a serious one. They walked side by side to his apartment. He unlocked the door and stepped aside so Ino could enter first. I'll get you a towel so that you can dry off, and I'll make us some tea. The platinum blonde sat down across from his bed. She waited for him to come back with that towel and tea. Ino freed her hair from its ponytail. It was now cascading around her shoulders. When Naruto came back, he stood there for a moment, just staring at her. She looked so beautiful to him right now. Wow, he whispered. Wow, what? What's wrong? Nothing. Here, Ino-chan. He handed her the towel. Their hands touched for a minute. Naruto quickly let go, but he could still feel the warm touch of her fingers. He walked over to the window, and began to stare out of it. The rain didn't appear to show any sign of letting up. Thank you, Naruto, for the towel and the tea. Sure. No problem. A sigh escaped the young male. Deep down he knew that he should tell her about the Kyuubi. Now was a perfect time than any. There was no real reason why he should hide it from her. What's wrong, Naruto? She wondered. Ino-chan, may I ask you a question? Sure, go ahead. Is the tea okay? Ino frowned slightly. She had a feeling that wasn't the question that he wanted to ask her. Why was he purposely stalling? What was he so afraid to say? It's fine, but that wasn't what you really wanted to ask me, was it? No, you got me. He grinned. What I wanted to know was how you felt about earlier. Ino-chan, did I scare you today? She blinked. Her eyes never once left him. You mean when you wouldn't stop attacking that guy? Yeah, he nodded. You really worried me, Naruto. I was kind of afraid that you might have killed him. All of your behavior concerned me. But Naruto turned around to face Ino. The two blondes were now staring at each other from across the room. He wasn't really surprised by her response to his question. He nodded. I'm sorry that I scared you. No. She shook her head. If anything, I was just really worried about you. I never seen you act like that before. And then when you protected me from getting hurt, you were losing so much blood. You could have bled to death. I still don't understand how you were able to keep fighting. I guess it's that strong will of yours, huh? She managed to smile. Truthfully, she didn't know what to believe. Ino-chan, he whispered. Naruto, what's really going on? And don't tell me that I'm imagining things. There's something on your mind, right? She asked him. His silence was all the answer that she needed. There was something on his mind that he was thinking about. He was scared to tell her. She could feel it. Well, he started. There is something. Okay. Well, tell me. Or do I have to invade your mind? She threatened in a somewhat cheerful manner. No, that's not necessary, Ino-chan. Do you remember when I said that Gaara and I had things in common? Yeah, you said that you both knew what it was like to be alone. What did you mean by that? And please answer me this time. Alright, first let me show you something. He quickly pulled off his shirt. Ino felt her cheeks flush red. It faded soon enough when she noticed that he had a seal mark on his stomach. Naruto. Yeah, you're probably wondering why I have this seal mark on my stomach. Do you know anything about Kyuubi, and the attack that happened here 17 years ago? She blinked again. She didn't really know much about it. The only thing she knew was that the Yondaime sacrificed himself and killed it. Well, My parents might have talked about it before. You're talking about the fox demon that the Yondaime killed, right? Naruto gripped his fist in an attempt to gather up his courage. He only hoped that things wouldn't turn out the way that they did in his dream. No matter what, he didn't want that to happen. Kyuubi was never killed. The only way to get rid of it was to seal it away, inside of someone. Ino's eyes widened. She had a pretty good feeling where he was going with this. Naruto, you. Yeah, he nodded. He sealed Kyuubi inside of a newborn baby, 17 years ago. I'm not really surprised that you don't know much about it. None of the kids our age were told about it. Gaara is the only person who could understand what it's like to be a Jinchuriki. A holder of one of the tailed beasts. The platinum blonde felt the tears threatening to come down. Naruto was sharing something very personal with her. He had thought of her as someone that he could confide in. This was a big deal to her. The Yondaime sealed the Kyuubi inside of me. When I was little, I used to wonder why everyone hated me. Why no one wanted to be around me. I used to wonder what I did wrong. What did I do to make everyone despise me? It's the reason why I fought so hard to be noticed. I wanted people to stop looking at me like I was some sort of monster. It's one of the reasons why I want to be Hokage so badly. I just want to prove to everyone that I am somebody. That I'm not the Kyuubi. Ino imagined how difficult it must have been for him, with people shunning him all the time. All she could think about was a small Naruto crying his eyes out at the pain. She had no idea that he had lived such a difficult life. She had never even bothered to find out. Ino felt badly for that. She should have took the time to really get to know the blonde-haired boy. Not that she would have really had any way of knowing. Naruto had never once complained. And he always wore a smile no matter what. She began to realize that the smile was a facade. He used that smile to pretend that everything was okay. He's always using that smile to pretend that he's alright. Gaara understands what it's like to feel what I've felt. He knows what it's like to have everyone hate you. To have people look at you like you're some kind of freak. All because of something that's not even your fault. I'm so proud of him for becoming Kazekage, for proving to his entire village that he wasn't really a monster. It's why I fight so hard to catch up to him so that I can become Hokage one day. Well, he managed to smile. Whenever Tsunade Ba-chan decides to give me the title. He laughed a little. Naruto, that day when that man called you a monster. He was talking about Kyuubi. By now Ino could not stop the tears from flowing down her eyes. It was all too much to take. She wished that she would have known about this a lot sooner. She would have been a hell of a lot nicer to him. Maybe, just maybe they could have been friends a lot sooner. Ino knew that she couldn't change the past. But she could make up for it right now. Ino stood up. She wiped her tears away from her eyes. Naruto. She cried out and ran into his arms. She placed her arms securely around his shoulders. He looked surprised by her behavior. He soon wrapped his arms around her waist. You are not a monster. I don't care what that drunk bastard said. I don't care what anyone says. It won't make me change my opinion of you. You are Uzumaki Naruto, not the Kyuubi. Please Ino-chan, don't cry for me. I'm sorry. She apologized. I'm sorry for everything. You should have never had to be alone, not for a single second. I'm sorry for not becoming your friend a lot sooner. He felt the young woman's heartbeat. It gave him a warm, comforting sort of feeling. I'm not alone. I had people like Iruka-sensei and Old Man Hokage. You'll never be alone again, I'll see to it. You won't be alone because you have Tsunade-sama, Iruka-sensei, Forehead, all of your friends, and me. She added lastly. She slowly pulled away from him. The blue-eyed girl put her hand to the seal. I can't pretend to know how you and Gaara-sama feel. But I can understand. It must have been very painful for the both of you. It must have been so difficult. Yeah, Naruto nodded. For Gaara more than me. He was always alone. I was lucky to have Iruka-sensei and everyone. I sometimes think that he's free now, at least he doesn't have to be a Jinchuriki any longer. Ino blinked curiously. Gara-sama is no longer a Jinchuriki. No, it's a long story, but he died. When the spirit of the beast is taken from the holder will die. This old lady named Chio brought him back to life. Ino froze at Naruto's words. She didn't want to even think of something like that happening to him. He had become someone very important to her. Naruto, I don't want anything to happen to you. You have to promise that you'll be alright. She spoke teary-eyed. Naruto then reached over and wiped the fresh tears out of her eyes. No problem there, Ino-chan. I'll be fine, I still have to become Hokage, don't I? He smiled. Yes, you sure do. She managed to smile back. Ino turned her attention outside, a sigh escaped her. It doesn't look like the rain is going to stop anytime soon. Yeah, he agreed. Do you mind if I stay here the night? She didn't even wait for him to answer. Instead, she had a seat on his bed. Ino, are you sure? Yeah, she let out a yawn. I'm pretty tired and there's nowhere else that I want to be right now. Ino admitted to him. Naruto sat down in the chair across from the bed. Alright, Ino-chan, you can stay if you want. Come over here, lay with me. Huh, he blushed. Well, it's not like we haven't shared a bed before, remember? Yeah, but that was different. You were like, unconscious or something. It's okay, I don't mind. Besides, it's your place, who am I to kick you out of your own bed? Naruto reluctantly placed himself beside the platinum blonde. There was silence while the two blondes laid there staring into the ceiling. There was a good amount of space between them, so there were no problems. Naruto, it was probably hard for you to tell me your secret, huh? Yeah, it kind of was. He nodded. I'm glad that you did. She yawned. You can trust me. Before Ino completely realized it, she was fast asleep. Naruto turned to look at the sleeping girl. Based on impulse, he put his arm around her, and that was how the two of them fell asleep, right in each other's arms. With nothing but the sound of the rain hitting the window pane.